Good afternoon, everyone. Well, nobody's going to be in the stream yet. If you are, you're keen as anything. Just want to say a good afternoon to you all. My name is Elemental X6, and I will be casting today's game, where we see RNS versus SBG or SDG. I can't remember. I'm terrible today with these notes and casting, but we'll see how it all goes. Yes, it's SBG. Haven't got many notes together, so this one's going to be a bit of an interesting cast for me today. I got asked literally lunchtime today to get on this one, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one goes. Hopefully it goes all right, but like I say, I've been flung into this one quite early on. Hello Franco, good to see you in the chat. Who else have we got in today? Hopefully a few others. Sweet, we're about to go into the game. Everyone's ready? Here we go. So, today's game that I will be casting is SBG versus RNS from the Resistance Siege League. I know RNS relatively well, as they have played in, well, I've casted multiple of their teams, both Rebel Nation Academy, Rebel Nation Shadow, and today of course I'm casting Rebel Nation Shadow again, but I've never seen them play in this league yet. SBG are a bit of an unknown for me today, since I've never seen them play before, but it's certainly going to be interesting to see how they play, how they perform against Rebel Nation, and who comes out on top at the end of this best of two, I believe. Cheers. Cheers, Lucifer, if you're ending up watching this right now. This is the first time I'm streaming on this league without Con. She's my, well, not necessarily my, I was about to say mid, safety handles, but that sounds really dodgy, so let's not even go there. Hello Chanka, hello Franco, hello everybody in chat this evening, this afternoon. How's everybody's Monday been? Hopefully a good start to the week. Mine's certainly been alright, I'd say. Pogs in chat, hey Chag, how you doing? So the first map we're going to see both these teams two going today is Villa, with the Thatcher Buckcade, and who's going to be the final ban is going to be a Malusi. It's going to be a Clash. It's going to be a Maestro. Interesting. Interesting. Wouldn't have called that. Well, I certainly didn't. Saw me guessing all of these. And Maestro was not my first guess, it has to be said in this one. The second map we will see these teams go to will be Oregon, where SBG will start on the attack and RNS will defend on overtime. Little bit of a delay and a bit of a mix-up for these teams tonight. Unfortunately, it seems that SBG had a bit of an issue with their roster, so Amazar has stepped in as an emergency sub for them in this one. However, the roster on the side of RNS is pretty much what we've come to expect, or certainly I've come to expect in my very short time casting. I've certainly seen them play a few games like this, and in the league that I'm also in and that I help with, I've seen them in there a few times. But some interesting picks coming out there on the side of both teams. We've got the Warden on Caswez. However, Fast Fingers 6-picking from the Ying to the Jackal, meaning that Warden still useful against the smokes that Ace and maybe Jackal will bring. However, being used directly as a counter to Ying probably won't happen here on this one now. Early on to this game, you're going to have to bear with me, everybody, as I get a little bit warmed up into my casting mind zone. Might struggle to begin with, but after a short while I'll get back on top of everything nice and quick, and we'll hopefully have a good game to watch right now. But yeah, thank you Lucifer for dropping a little mention in the stream links chat for me. Much appreciated, man. Currently got 8 people in there. How many can we get? Can we get a big stream going on? Hey, Cronus, Lucifer. What's this other mention? No option to buy. I'm not affiliated yet. I can't do that. At least I don't think I can do that. If I can, you need to tell me how, because I'd love people to sub to me. Get a bit of extra money on the side of my day-to-day job. That'd be nice. Yes, Saint on Jaeger. He's been playing well recently. There was a game that I didn't cast myself, but I was watching back the other day, where Saint popped off and nearly got 2 aces in a row, back-to-back, on, I believe it was Cafe with Jaeger. So we'll see how he performs so far in this game. A couple of ping issues. Hopefully that's nothing on my end. If it is, I do deeply apologise to everybody playing. But hopefully it is just these servers. We see the Jackal of Fast Fingers being completely shut down there on red stairs, getting quite aggressive, but of course the Malusi device triggering there, giving his position away to Mitsu, who swings onto the red stairs, collecting that kill and putting RNS 1 kill ahead in the early seconds of this game. Seconds, yeah, we'll roll with that. We see the Zofia and the Hibana playing here on the 90 repel, managing to down the Castle of Riddler there behind the pillar. Do they know that he's quite down on his feet? I don't quite know yet. They certainly think he is. Hibana pellet to kill him. Are they really going to do this? I hope they get away with this, but no, the mute swings through. Hopefully one of the teammates of Riddler will be able to actually save him. The Hibana pellet's still on the floor though, so if they're... Are they still on the floor? Nope, they're not. Anyway, he's now dead. Lucy swings the window but misses the shots. But the Zofia, who's pushed downstairs, has now been down from the main staircase. Doesn't have a withstand anymore, so she can't actually get back up on her feet without the help of a teammate. So you're crawling outside. Bit of a glitch there with her impact thing. Whether, like I say, once again, if that's due to possible ping issues or whatnot on my side, then I do deeply apologise to both teams for that. Hopefully my internet stays relatively stable. It certainly should be, but today it's been a bit iffy while I've been at work. Sliding C, you can see on a lower HP deciding, you know what, I'm going to play on this desk. Doesn't want to get shot from below by that IQ. Don't know if he actually knows that the IQ's on the board, but certainly if he does, he'll know he doesn't want to be playing anywhere near a soft floor, because if he's on his cam, he can be seen through it and may get spotted through it and shot. As I say that though, Kazwes manages to swing on him using the SMG-12 somehow to pick up the kill onto the IQ. Would have thought the IQ would have won that gunfight, but it seems that that is not the case. Currently a 3-3 situation between both these teams with 30 seconds on the clock, but as I say that, Saint swings and takes out the life of Ghost on that ace who was pushing at the bottom of red stairs, I do believe. Saint been showing up recently on Jaeger. Whether he's just found that being an Ash Jaeger main is a good thing, I don't quite know. Strange repel coming out here on the side of I'm Digital. Double kill coming out on Saint as the Malusi device triggers, and he hears Zofia pushing from Wolf's side. However, does he realise that Hibana is behind him pushing for statutory? I don't think so. Drops red though, and it's now the Hibana left in a 1v3 situation. One down though, Saint pushing close, and Saint manages to get the final kill onto I'm Digital, securing the first win of this first round, of the first game, of the first map for Rebel Nation Shadow. How are we all this evening? All of those tuning in to watch this fabulous stream, at least I hope it's fabulous. Hope you enjoy. If you're new around here, please consider dropping a follow. I'm 4 followers off being affiliated. Come on, help me out. It'd be greatly appreciated, especially as I'm wanting to get more into this casting malarkey, and also doing a few streams on the side as well. Just some chill times, bit of ranked, bit of casual, bit of fun times, bit 10-mans, whatever I feel like. But hopefully with the more people that give me some support, give me some follows, then I need 4, Ducko, yeah, I need 4 followers. It's blooming close, it's blooming close. But yeah, all the support helps me massively, and of course means that I might be able to do this a little bit more permanently. It's certainly something that I enjoy doing, and so far people have enjoyed watching me do, certainly on the casting side of things. Yeah, I'd love to get out of pensions and into casting, Shag, but unfortunately it's not quite that simple. If it was, I wouldn't be doing pensions anymore. But for context, I work in a pensions company. That's my day-to-day 9-to-5 job. So there you go. Yeah, it's funny to see you stutter. Oh, thanks, Jack. I'd like to see you try. Anyway, we see here now RNS going down to the kitchen dining sites. Is it dining? I don't know what the room's called. I know it's kitchen. Bringing out the castle to stop those rushes, and also have the side of SBG waste that utility, getting rid of the castle barricades. Certainly if they can play the long game and take out those with the utility early on in the game, it means that actually getting into the site can be quite difficult for them. You have a castle here at the small box into kitchen. You also have one on the pantry door that stops any push going through from pantry, and the final castle barricade, where has he put it? Over here into, I believe, bike storage. Basically just cutting off a few points of entry into the site. Maybe the better place would have been to put it here on like the museum door, but that certainly makes it a lot easier for his friendly roamers to get back into sight when they're being pressured off of the top floor. Speaking of which, how's Saint doing? Saint being droned out of top floor, currently hanging around in the astronomy room. He sees the drone but doesn't quite get it. Several members of SBG coming upstairs, and there we go. Hibana landed the headshot, completely taking Saint off the board nice and early on. Nice little shot coming out there from I'm Digital Shadow. 3 kills so far into this game and only 2 rounds, well, not even 2 rounds played, we haven't quite got there. Oh, careful with that C4, Jojo. Or Jono. Seems that the side of SBG is going to be playing a lot of vertical angles here. And as I say that, I'm Digital once again gets another kill. This time through the hatch, onto the smoke playing close to that laundry door. An expected position to play, but obviously the smoke didn't expect them above, maybe expected them below, so didn't win that gunfight. I'm Digital, absolutely popping off, currently sat on a triple kill. Finishing off the last 2 members of RNS would net him the ace. Can he quite do it? We'll have to wait and see. Still, most of the side of SBG playing upstairs, making sure to get the floor open nice and wide. Play those long angles into sight from above. Seems though that quite a few of the members have gone below, and Fast Fingers has decided, you know what, I'm going to take some of these kills. And Sidens absolutely confirms that, so that I'm Digital cannot get the ace as Fast Fingers swings in and lands the headshot onto Sidens, playing in the site. A much more well-structured round there coming out from SBG after we've seen from their first one. A lot of drone work coming in, helping out the side of... droning in, helping out their teammates as they push into the site. Meaning that they could just shut down the threat of Saint quite early on. He'd been, of course, quite critical to the previous round and the win. Coming out on the side with his Jaeger plays. Okay, I've just been informed by Mitsu that he's changing sense every 2 minutes. So if I see him whiff, I have to forgive him. Will we forgive him, chat? Will we forgive Mitsu for the whiffs if he's changing his sense? I don't think so. Shouldn't be changing his senses in the middle of a game. Madman. Precisely, Lucifer. Precisely. We do not forgive this man for changing his sense. However, RNS deciding that, you know what? We actually stood a pretty good chance on that site and deciding to go it again. This time, though, swapping some of the roles around. Saint going on to the mute. He does like that SMG-11, the SAS shotgun as well. And this time, Sidens taking the role of Jaeger. I believe Mitsu is also, of course, taking the Mozzie. Likely to be playing a rogue role there. If Sidens and Mitsu can, of course, keep that top floor much more secure, if SBG decide to do a very similar push as to last time, they should be able to completely shut this down, as long as that opening frag doesn't go the way of SBG. So we'll have to see what happens here. 2 ADSs being placed in laundry. Oh, never mind. This is if Sidens heard me. Was like, you know what? Not going there. Not going there. Yes, I'm going to make sure I spectate Mitsu all the way. There we go, there's the first whiff. He can't shoot the drone behind the statue, but he gets it the second time round. We're really picking him up on this one, being extra critical. Where have SBG spawned from? A few members spawned all the way over here at the... I can't remember the names of the spawns. Fire me. Fire me. I can't remember this. But it seems that once again, the side of SBG are deciding to go for this top floor clear. As we see the Nomad throwing a drone out, ready to do to just get in there, get the intel for the team as either the Ash. Yes, the Ash of Jono Joe? Jojo? Jono? I'll just call him Jono. Hope he doesn't mind. But of course, the side of RNS here, actually with that reinforced wall, actually giving a bit more map availability to the side of SBG. With the fact that they've got a reinforced wall, but Sidens there swings the door and collects the head of Amazar playing on that Nomad. He was the pickup for this team, maybe doesn't know how to play it. And Mitsu proving us all wrong with his sense changes by landing a headshot straight after onto the head of Jono as jumps into the master window. This now leaves SBG in a 3v5 situation. Not exactly the best odds that they want to be in, but if they stick together and they collect these heads, they can certainly stand a good chance. But as you see here, this time the Jaeger and the Mozzie playing a lot closer together. Last round you only saw the roamer of Saint on the Jaeger on the top floor, which is a lot harder to... But the swing from the Hibana manages to collect the ace. The double kill. Mitsu manages to land another headshot, but gets picked up panic knives in the middle of astronomy. And I'm Digital showing up big so far. 3 rounds played and already 7 kills to his name, contributing quite significantly to the previous round. Actually does a bit of damage there onto Saint, who was on his drone, unbeknownst, but directly beneath where the breach charge was being placed. Thank goodness the ceiling's a bit further away, otherwise that could have done quite a bit more considerable damage onto Saint. He walks away with only about 10 HP done, and now decides to go over and play Laundry. As 2 ace pellets come out to open up that hatch, you would have maybe expected the I'm Digital to use 2 of his pellets to do this, since, well, 4 of his pellets, as it would be slightly better utility usage, keep those aces for later on, but instead it's decided that, you know what, time is of the essence with only 40 seconds left on the clock, so Ghost Ninja decides to use 2 of his ace charges to get that floor open. Does he see the toes now as Saint as he falls slightly further back towards that door? No, he doesn't. Both team members deciding to push over this side, trying to make their mind up exactly where this final push is going to come down. It's now a 2v3 situation. Not the worst odds that you've ever seen, but certainly not the best odds for SBG either, especially with I'm Digital being only on 20 health right there, and the castle barricade stopping them from pushing through bicycle storage. 10 seconds left on the clock as the team decides to push in, but Warden swings I'm Digital, and Ace has to try and run through Laundry. He's pushing in, but a well-placed shotgun shell through the wall from Caswez on the Warden puts a stop to that push from the Ace and puts another round in favour of RNS. Opens up the little rotate to see him run through and then finishes him off with another clean shot, this time without any wall in the way. 2 rounds so far going the way of RNS. A lot better that time, decided to adapt quite quickly to the top floor roam clear of SBG. Of course, having the 2 roamers up there meant that they got the early kill advantage. After that, it meant that SBG were playing a bit of a catch-up game on the kill front, finally managing to get the kills a little bit more in favour, but unfortunately running out of time, causing the last 2 remaining members of the team to have to sort of rush towards site, not really too coordinated, and unfortunately meant they were easily taken out by 2 of the members of RNS, or one of the members of RNS. It was Caswez that actually collected both those kills, bringing out the Warden so far on every defence, I believe. Certainly the first one he bought it out, and the second and the third one he bought it out. I'm not 100% sure if he bought it out for the second one. Somebody who was probably more observant than I will be able to tell me this. But we'll have to see. Once again, the castle being bought out on this top floor site, deciding that, you know what, we want to stop them getting to sites as much as possible. Also, having that secondary shotgun is very good for soft destruction, opening up rotates in and out of sight. And also just opening up head holes, peek holes, and C4 holes if you really want them. Saint deciding, you know what, I'm going to stick on the mute. Sidens did a better job last time. Mitsu, though, deciding to switch off the Mozzie and this time go for the Malusi. Still trying to work out exactly where he's placing his devices. If SBG rush him here at the bottom of the main stairs, they might be able to get a free kill. However, a little bit of a slow start for them, and only the Ash has spawned on this side, with the rest of the team spawning over on the northeastern side. It's time to go for a top floor clear, it seems here. A lot of drone coming out into the master bedroom. It looks like they're going to be taking master bedroom, then pushing over to top red and 90. Maybe pushing vaults and this vault door here. That's a pretty standard default plant spot behind this vault door. And then from there, pushing their vantage site. Certainly it negates the fact that the shield of Warden and all these ADSs and mute jammers are placed on the top main stairs. But the roam game might be able to shut them down. Unfortunately, so far it's not paid off, as Fast Fingers coming up the astronomy stairs picks up a kill onto the head of Silence. And Mazar, though, does not walk away with the most HP. It looks like about 2 HP. Is somebody going to down this man and reset him? There we go. A smoke grenade being used on the side of Ace there to down the Nomad, put him up, bring him back on to 20 HP. It's better than 1. And here we see Fast Fingers collecting another kill, this time onto Sidens. So the entire roam has completely been shut down this time. Mitsu and Sidens being the previous threat to SBG in the last game. However, now this time they've been completely shut down. The shield has been rotated off the top main by Caswez and brought to, I believe it's this one at the end by Bookshelf. I'm not quite sure. Castle, though, on Riddler being able to pick up a long-range kill onto the head of Jono, who was pushing at top red. Once again, it looks like SBG have now got that master control. They've now got top red control, and they're going to be pushing the advantage into sight here. Maybe to looking to plant behind that vault door. But as they're just slowly losing people to Riddler playing top of 90, that might not be the case. Riddler, though, being downed here by the Zofia. Fast Fingers having quite the game so far. Seen the smoke swing, though. Oh, a TK coming out, but managing to collect the kill on Saint at the same time. And with the castle down, it's now a 2v1 situation. The Zoff for Fast Fingers has rotated up the main stairs, with Caswez currently playing in the study. He knows how close he is? Does he see him? Yes, he does. He pushes up, and he manages to land the shot. Headshot coming out quite nicely there from the SMG-12. Someone managing to control the recoil, or use the recoil to his advantage to get the shot onto the head of Fast Fingers. Ghost Ninja Shane now left in a 1v1 situation, pushes into the aviator room door. He knows Warden's involved. Yellow pin coming out, but he's not quite looking the right way, and the shotgun takes him off the board. Caswez with another shotgun clutch right at the very end there. Well played to him, being left in a 1v3 situation. 1v2 situation, I apologise, at the end there. Getting the kills where needed. The SMG-12 recoil helping him out with landing that headshot. But still at the very end there, the miscommunication coming out there on the side of SBG. Ghost Ninja pushing in, but getting the yellow pings, but not quite being able to react to them. Thinking that the Warden had actually either pushed out of the breach hole, or he was about to run out of vault. However, he was a lot closer than he expected, and at close range like that, the shotgun can prove deadly, completely taking Ghost Ninja off the board and putting another round in favour of RNS. 3 rounds to 1 as we head into round number 5. This time we see RNS going to Trophy and Statutory Room, deciding to go for the top floor rather than the bottom floor on this alternative site. Keeping it nice and different. The spice of life, difference. Not really the word that I'm looking for, but hey ho. Obviously I've not quite got my casting voice on today. Seems I'm struggling with some of my words, but we'll see how they do the setup here. Once again, Caswez deciding that, you know what? Warden is the play. So far he has been proving it with 5 kills to his name over the 5 rounds played. That's 1 per round. Don't quite think the kills have fallen quite that evenly though. Of course, we see though on the side of SBD that 2 members of the team, I'm Digital, and Fast Fingers have been doing all the work so far, with Ghost Ninja picking up a couple himself. However, Amazar and Jono not quite being able to pick up the kills, and maybe would have helped the team get to a couple more rounds on the board. Last round certainly seemed in their favour, but unfortunately, with Caswez on the board, nothing was ever going to be said and done until one of them lay dead on the floor. And unfortunately, Ghost Ninja lost in that engagement, meaning we see 3 rounds to RNS currently. Seems like a ground floor clear coming out on the side of SBG, deciding that, you know what, we're not going to directly attack the site. We're going to go for either the floor above or the floor below, depending on which floor the site is on. This time, though, bringing out the IQ on the side of Jono, once again, should I say. Getting all those devices through the floor. There isn't much Warden now coming out, apart from Saint on the mute, so once these mute jammers are taken care of, the wall should be easy to open. Gonna have to get a slightly different angle there, Jono, to actually get that mute jammer. There are metal beams within the floor, you need to find the gaps between it. You'll find it eventually. Come on, you can do it. Ghost Ninja, though, falls somewhere. He falls outside master bedroom, obviously peeking that door, and got re-peeked by someone playing in Statutory. Probably the Jaeger of Sidons by the looks of things. But with him being injured outside, he is safe for a pickup if the Nomad can get to him, which looks like that is going to be the case. Mizar going around checking the angles and going to pick up his down teammate. Leaves him on 20 health, which is a bit of a shame. But here we see Mitsu coming out with a C4. Not quite sure exactly where that happened. But landing a C4, by the looks of it, onto red stairs. Decides, you know what, I've been called out for my aim. The whiffs might be coming through, but you know what doesn't whiff? An explosion. An explosion doesn't whiff. So C4 being thrown out there and a bit of utility being used on the side of RNS, but it collects the kill and the head of Fast Fingers, which certainly puts SBG at a bit of a disadvantage. 1 man off the board already, with 1 minute left on the clock. And of course, Fast Fingers being Zofia and also quite critical in the previous round for picking up quite a number of those kills. Sidon's picking up finally Ghost Ninja on that long angle. Mitsu getting another headshot onto Jono. Now pushed down below to get rid of these people who are trying to open up the wall from below. I'm Digital being shut down by Mitsu. Doesn't realise he's down. Still looking around for him. Now sees him on the floor. Hears him on the floor. Sees the blood trail. Goes down to secure his kill. Amazar, the last one left on the board. Caswez was downed in that engagement. As we see Amazar getting quite a bit of pressure here. Saint looks like he's going to go for the kill. SMG-11 lying on the floor, prone, and he lands the shot. A flawless round coming out on the side of RNS. As he doesn't quite collect the head, but manages to take away those final hit points from the Nomad on the closet window, securing his team the 4th defensive round win. A good showing here so far from RNS. That round seeming a little bit more shaky from SBG than the previous rounds. They didn't quite gain the advantage that they needed to early on, but that certainly meant they couldn't throw it all away again towards the end. Unfortunately, they did that in the 3rd round, or 4th round, with Ghost unfortunately not getting the yellow ping information that he needed on the final player of RNS in Vault. And a TK, unfortunately, of course, coming out on the side of Ghost Ninja could have very much swung that round 3 very much in the favour of SBG rather than RNS. Here we see them going into round 6, though, the final defensive round for RNS, as we see them going back to the dining room and kitchen site, the one that they preferred to go to as their second site choice after winning the top floor Aviator Games. Not necessarily the expected site, but they've obviously got plans for this, bringing out the castle again. Caswez once again with the Warden. It seems like he's bringing a Warden main now. Maybe taking after Lieutenant Custard here, for those of you that know him. Of course, he raves about Warden. That shotgun proving useful, but he just won't ace with it. I will give him the fact, though, that Warden, when he runs with that shotgun, does look pretty cool. But we'll see, of course, how useful it plays out here. Of course, smokes. It does counter the smokes directly on the side of Fast Fingers and Ghost Ninja. But other than that, sadly, it doesn't counter breach charges or grenades. Unfortunately, those are left to the Jaeger and or just somebody shooting the breach charges. The mutes will counter the breach charges if they're placed too close to device, but certainly the grenades will be countered directly by the Jaeger. Once again, it looks like Sidence and Mitsu might be playing this upstairs hold. Yes, Mitsu just reinforcing off Wolf there. Got the 3 reinforcements on the wall and a mute jammer to help them on the top floor, so they're letting SBG get the master bedroom control, but as soon as they've got the master bedroom control, that's as far as they're letting them go. As we see Mitsu and Silence playing over in Astronomy and Trophy respectively. Just peppered shots coming out here from Silence, trying to pick up the head of anybody who dares enter that closet, but no member of SBG so far doing it. Mitsu, though, don't quite know where that kill came out from. Hopping off his drone for a second, standing up, getting a kill, lying back down again, and hopping back on his drone to get a bit more intel on whoever it was that he picked up. Nobody yet from the side of SBG pushed into Master, although Mitsu has just been droned. He's being pushed by 2, if not 3 members. Pre-fires the angle and managed to land a headshot onto Digital Shadow. That was a very good pick there from Mitsu. Managed to get one of the more deadly players off of the enemy team. One who's shown up so far in a few rounds, but unfortunately being sat down on this one, as his head is completely taken off by that nice pre-fire on the side of Mitsu. Sidon's still opting to play upstairs and quickly being shut down as I say that by Amazar, who swings the corner after droning him out. Mitsu, though, deciding, you know what, 2 kills is enough for me. I'm going to rotate back down into site and pushes downstairs. The sledge still being left on the board means that they can start playing these vertical angles, opening up the floor. Trying to get any players that they can below. No one's being picked up yet, as we see Ghost Ninja deciding to rotate down and go for the pantry push. I do believe that the RNS have a mute jammer on this pantry wall. Yes, they do. So that ace, although that ace will land, it will not actually trigger and start to open that wall. Fortunately for RNS, that is the case, but unfortunately for SBG, with 40 seconds on the clock, they need to decide where else are we going to push this. Because right now we can't do this. Sledge could probably do with getting downstairs and opening up a few of these castle barricades to get into sight. Dekebi still alive, but with none of her logic bombs left to ring anybody. Got that deadly DMR, though, does quite a bit of damage with each shot, and of course if you can land 2 in quick succession, you've basically secured yourself a kill with the high damage. Mitsu, though, playing super close. 15 seconds on the clock, and Fast Fingers running away from sight. Not quite sure what play this is. Ghost Ninja, though, dropping the hatch. The C4 coming out from Saint, who was hiding in a little rat spot behind the covers, and Amazar gets a double kill. And finally, Sledge is in sight, but Saint picks him up through that little rotation hole that he had from Laundry into the main site. Another round going the way of RNS on this defensive side, as we're currently sat at 5-1. Good showing from SBG, but they just did not have an answer to the roamers of Sidence and Mitsu, who shut them down, got some early picks for their team, and then managed to safely rotate back into the site on that excuse me, kitchen hold. Of course, applying a lot of utility and pressure upstairs by holding actually in the statutory and trophy room. First round, we see SBG going on to the defensive, going for the pretty standard defensive first pick of Aviator Room and Games. And we see similar setup coming out on the side of both these teams, although Jackal being bought out on Mitsu rather than the Dukebi that SBG bought. A 6th pick coming out from Silence. Does he quite make it? Yes, he does, swapping from Zofia onto the Hibana, now having 2 hard breaches on the board for RNS. I'm Digital, though, sticking with the Echo there. Might be the play, certainly helps with the plant denial late game. However, with the recent nerf, you could say, of Echo, all of his Echo yokais are now visible at all times. So, is Echo really the play? He's not quite as powerful as he was previously, with those yokais being invisible. Now with them being quite visible, and you hear the sound cue, you can look for them. They're certainly a lot easier to spot. But let's see what he does with them here. Apologies for my voice being a little bit croaky. It's been a bit of a long day, so you just have to bear with me one moment while I have a drink of water.
5 seconds left before insertion. Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Thank you though for tuning in onto today's stream and seeing these two teams face each other. Rotate being opened up there by the shotgun of Fast Fingers. Another one being opened up here at the end of 90 hallway, allowing quick and easy rotate onto the bookshelf and the end of main stairs. Need to shoot the bottom of the rotate Fast Fingers. There we go. Finally managed to get the rotate open properly, but no shield being played at the top of main stairs currently. So not quite sure exactly the setup that's coming out here on the side of SBG. But a shield being played by the Echo in 90, holding a long angle all the way to top red. But yeah, quite the interesting hold coming out here as we see Ghost Ninja playing all the way over on far side. They've done a very extended hold here. Of course, you see the Jaeger of Amazar playing all the way in Astronomy. You've got the IQ pushing in through bathroom. There's going to be a little altercation right here. And Saint comes out on top of that one, managing to shut down Amazar. Jono, though, on the other side of the map, collecting the head of Mitsu, taking that quite scary Jackal off the board. Saint thinking that there's another player in Astronomy, tries to bait out the shots from Castle, but doesn't quite manage it. Castle playing behind the desk at the moment, in a 1v1 basically with Saint. Manages to land a very clean headshot onto the head of Saint, taking him off the board, and it's now a 3v3. However, health is looking certainly better on the side of RNS, as Digital has taken quite a lot of damage there. The Hibana's just in sight. How did she manage to lose that? Why didn't she just go for the kill, as Digital managed to collect her head as she tries to go close? Maybe he didn't realise it. Maybe the Hibana didn't realise he was there. I don't quite know what's going on. Kazvizo rushes in sight and manages to kill John Ojo, and Ghost Ninja has now been trapped on the other side of sight. Looks for the default plant spot, but doesn't quite realise where it is. Doesn't quite see the head of Thermite as Thermite swings the door. Lands a few shots, misses a few shots, gets a double kill, and is now left in a 1v1 versus Kazwez, who is playing top main. And a shot through the soft wall with a pistol from Kazwez collects the kill onto Ghost Ninja as he pushes through from Vault into Games Room and secures round number 6 in the way of RNS. Not quite sure what happened there from the Echo of Digital. Somehow either the Hibana didn't see him or tried to bait him, I don't quite know. But the Hibana was trying to do something and somehow still managed to lose that gunfight. Unfortunately, Digital was not able to follow it up with a double onto the person pushing into the Aviator Room with him. I believe it was the Thermite of Riddler. So unfortunately came away that one losing his life. However, we go into match point currently for RNS. This has certainly seemed like a bit of a... From the scoreline, it seems like a one-sided game. However, from actually watching this game to its completion, well, to its completion when we get there, we're not quite there yet. From watching this game so far, there's certainly been a few rounds that maybe should have gone the way of SBG, and a couple of bad moments, bad calls, bit of miscommunication unfortunately meant that kills were missed, team kills came out, so the scoreline I believe should be a little bit closer than it currently is, but certainly RNS have shown their dominance in the last 3 rounds, very easily managing to get the man advantage both on their defensive and now on the attack. Opening kills coming out of SBG on the previous round, though, not actually proving all that useful in the end, as the other members of RNS are able to make up for the lack of Mitsu. collecting heads where required, and of course getting that plant down and finally finishing off the last remaining member of SBG who was roaming off of site. Seems a possible similar setup here coming out on the side of SBG. See the Castle and the Jaeger, of course, playing over on this statutory trophy side together. Bit of a wide roam. Of course, those castle barricades being directly between the roamers and the site, though, could slow down their progress if a plant is going down and a full push from RNS comes on the side of the balcony study. And certainly it looks like that may be the case. You have a Zofia playing here on the study balcony. You have Ace playing a very aggressive angle here, already pushing... No, the Thermite, sorry, already pushed into study. Not worrying about that study door. If only somebody knew, then someone could have swung this door right here and very easily collected the head of the Thermite. Zofia just cannot cover that angle, it's far too tight. Both are now gathering this study control, obviously recognising the fact that a lot of SBG is all the way on the other side of the map. Even though this isn't this like Ghost Ninja though, making up for the previous round and missing that double kill by collecting the head of the Thermite as he tries to push into sight. Kazwas though answers back by picking up a kill under Fast Fingers on the bottom of main stairs and pushes up and gets the Echo that was rotating in 90. John Ojo falls on the other side of the map to, I believe, Mitsu. Mitsu and Saint pushing together this time on Trophy. Saint deciding, you know what, I'm not going to be on my own. But the final member of SBG being stuck over here on the statutory side, and Mazar being stuck in statutory. Saint trying to go for the one-taps here. And Mazar teabagging, but eventually Saint lands the headshot as Zofia comes to try and take that kill. And RNS manages to secure the victory on this one. First round, Villa going the way of RNS against SBG. Well played to both teams. It seems that the scoreline maybe didn't quite reflect the way that both of these teams played, but also let's remember the fact that SBG unfortunately weren't able to field their full roster today and had to use an emergency sub of a Mazar. So the fact that they are a man down and not one of their normal squad could be factoring into the plays in that game, but certainly RNS towards the end there certainly had the better coordination, they certainly had the better map control, and were able to push in and take advantage of this, get the plant down where required, but also just corner the players that were playing so far off site and eventually get the kill. Now, I'm not sure exactly what the teams want to do at this point. Hopefully they want a 10-minute break, because I certainly will need a little one myself just to make sure my voice doesn't completely go this evening. I've got a few more casts coming up this week. I've got a duo with Conch tomorrow. I think that's for the EOL League. I believe I also have... I've got a game on Wednesday, and then I've got another solo cast on the Thursday. That's for another league entirely. So please feel, if you enjoy what you're watching so far and you want to watch some other Siege casting, both with myself and Conch or just with me, then please feel free to drop over to Conch's channel, drop a follow on his channel at Conchcasts. Goodness me, I can't speak. Or if you're new over here and you want to see more of this, then feel free to drop me a follow here. It's greatly appreciated. I'm currently 3 followers away from affiliate, so I would be greatly appreciated if you could drop me one as we prepare for map number 2. The second map we are going to be going to today is going to be Oregon, as we see SBG starting on attack. So yeah, they're starting on attack, and I believe RNS are defending on overtime. There we go, so we'll set up and are ready to go. Just checking exactly what happens with all of this. First time casting this league solo. I have played, not played, I have casted this league before with Conch. However, I have not actually cast this league solo, so this is a first for me. I hope you're all enjoying it so far. It's good siege coming out of both of these teams. An unfortunate team kill coming out on the side of SBG, meaning one of the rounds that looks completely in their clutches, unfortunately meant that they couldn't quite collect the win on that one, and the scoreline maybe didn't quite reflect how close some of the opening rounds were between these two teams, going 7-1 in favour of RNS. The scoreline maybe should have been a bit closer, maybe like 3-7, 4-7, maybe even 5-7 at a push, but certainly a few more rounds maybe should have fallen in the way of SBG. However, RNS towards the end there, both on the defense and the attack, certainly showed that they maybe had it a little bit more together than SBG, managing to see through their plans. Of course, you saw a couple of members of SBG roaming far off on the statutory trophy side, which allowed the side of RNS to push in on the study side, get that site control, and finally shut people down. We attack first. I'm just going to have a small break while I sort out the next map, so apologies for the silence for the next few minutes, but I will be back soon enough for the second map. We should be getting underway in about 4 or 5 minutes, so stick around and we'll be going into that shortly. Right, everybody, I'm back. As we're about to head into map number 2, I believe both the teams are ready, so I'm just going to double check that with them, and once I had the go ahead from both of them, we'll be heading into map number 2, which takes us to Oregon. RNS have shown up big on this one in other leagues where I've casted them so far, so this certainly seems like it's in favour of RNS, but let's hope that SBG can get a few rounds on the board, show where they were... I'm going to start that sentence again. Show up in situations where they maybe weren't fully able to execute previously. Hopefully this time around they will be able to do so instead, and not to unfortunately get any team kills out. I think that was one of the clinchers in that second or third round, where unfortunately Ghost Ninja shot his teammate in the back of the head, which led to them ultimately losing the round as it fell to a 1v1 rather than a 2v1. So unfortunately the odds were not in his favour. Round number 2, as I say, takes us to Oregon. Starting on the attack, we see SBG, and on the defensive, we see RNS. Let's get into this one. Let's see what operator bans come out on the side of both of these teams. Some slightly strange ones coming out last time. Of course, you saw the Maestro ban coming out. I believe we also saw the Thatcher ban, but I can't remember who the second attacker was. Of course, Thatcher being banned straight off the bat here by RNS, not wanting to play against that operator. Arguably, in my eyes, he makes the game a bit more fun, opens a few more strategies for the attackers, but also equally opens a few more avenues of defense for the defenders. Thatcher's one of those operators that I think makes bandit tricking more viable, so if he's left on the board, then a bandit trick is much better. Maverick, though, being taken off the board as well, so not really any need to do any bandit tricking, but also means that those bandits or Cades or whatever sort of wall denial is being used, whether it be mutes as well, isn't really in too much danger of being taken out indirectly by either the Maverick or the Thatcher, but it means that it has to be taken off the walls in other ways by the attacking team. Cade also being banned out here. sort of in a direct counterband to the Thatcher and the Maverick. Of course, you can't really get rid of any cades off of walls when you can't actually get the wall open, or you can't use the EMP effect of Thatcher through solid walls. So getting rid of him here means that they just have bandits and mutes to deal with on the wall denial front, which is somewhat easier, it has to be said. Final ban coming out on this one is Mirror. A lot of teams don't really want to play against her on Oregon recently. Certainly a theme I've been noticing. Personally, I would only ever really use her on the top floor hold. But of course, we're not going to see exactly how either RNS or SBG would have used her in this game, as she is now banned. Completely gone. Wiped off the scoreboard. Nada. She's gone. See, the first site coming out here on the side of RNS going to be kids' dorms and dorms main hall. I didn't realise they were both dorms. I just thought it was kids' dorms and bedroom. But no, it's dorms main hall. I've been wrong all these years. My bad. Slapped wrist. So many hours of Siege, and yet here we are. I'm still getting things wrong. I hope you all understand. 6th pick once again coming out on the side of Fast Fingers from Ying to the Jackal, and on Silence we actually see a Capcan to a Smoke 6th pick. Caswes, though, deciding to stick it with the Warden, countering any smoke grenades that are going to be bought on the side of SBG. And so far he's been proving his worth with that SAS shotgun in hand, certainly being used for rotates and everything. It also means that maybe the smoke doesn't have to bring the shotgun, or if it does, it certainly means that there is double the potential for opening up rotates. Certainly the speed of everything happening would be good. Don't quite know what is going on here between Silence and Mitsu. Maybe Silence was just admiring the fact that Mitsu has a very nice suppressor on his 416C. Not exactly what you see most Jaegers running, but obviously it works for Mitsu, whether it's a particular choice just for this game or whether it's his go-to, I don't quite know. See Bandit being bought out here though, on the side of Saint, deciding to opt for that electric wall denial rather than that EMP mute denial. Because technically isn't mute technically like a EMP device, but it's like a localized one that's placed down? I think so. Anyway, I don't know the science of Siege, I didn't design the game. Don't shoot me if I get that wrong, but I think that's certainly the way it works. Saint here, of course, being the one mainly on the roam, playing downstairs in Classroom, looking for this early pick onto the Ash, who's trying to open up the floor from below. He sees the Ash Charge go out, goes for the shots, but manages to miss them, somehow not actually collecting the head of Jono. Runs away, and the Aces, of course, not the Aces opening up the wall as the Ash has actually connected onto the floor in the correct location, but Riddler decides that, you know what, there's a hole in this wall, I'm going to use it to shoot the Ace in the head. In fact, he doesn't actually shoot him from that side, he obviously swings through from the top of Armory, shoots him through from the master bedroom, holes that they've made in the wall, and completely takes him off the board. The wall is open though, so that gives a little bit of an advantage to the likes of SBG. It means that their wall denial, well, not wall denial, but you know what I mean. The head being taken off Mitsu there as they push up the tower stairs, but does he realise that Mitsu is below? Not Mitsu, Caswes, apologies. And no, he doesn't, as Caswes once again proving that he's deadly with this SMG-12, keeping the kills very much in favour of RNS at this stage. They still have one hard breacher in the form of a Mazar on the Thermite, which means that they can get open that attic wall if required. Alternatively, they can flank round and use those ace holes that have been made into the closet wall. But with it, it is a crouch hole, and Riddler though picking up the head of Jono, who was already left on very low health after his previous engagement with Saint. Now leaving the side of SBG in a 4 versus 2 situation. Health once again not being on the side of SBG, nor the numbers on both of these teams. A rotate coming out on the side of Caswes with the shotgun coming below. He sees the Claymore and decides better of it. Smokers also dropped down of Sidens to go below to see if they can get up any kills. But I'm Digital, of course, realising that this might be the case and is trying to watch that stairs as best he can. He hears the shotgun blast and he sees the Claymore fall. So he's still watching those stairs. And he sees Caswes come up. Puts him on super low health but doesn't quite collect the kill, but Amazar drops, getting the kill on Caswes, but then gets picked up very quickly by the shotgun and SMG-11 of Sidens playing below. It's now a 1v3 situation with Digital hopping out the window to try and stay as safe as possible, but Saint swings the window, pre-fires his head, and takes him off the scoreboard and puts round number 1 on Oregon in favour of RNS. Was it another hip fire? Yes, it was. Saint, stop it. At least aim. I know you're in a 4v1 situation and you had friends ready behind to refrag you if it all went tits up. But don't be doing a man like that. That's just not very nice. Of course, Saint having got that hip-fire one-tap with the pistol onto the head of Amazar previously in the statue room. This time proving bandit iron sights. Well, the reason I run iron sights is because I don't actually use them. Of course, hip-firing there and collecting the kill onto I'm Digital, who was playing outside the window as the IQ. Once again, 6th pick coming off of the Ying onto the Jackal, and this time the Doc being swapped to the Goyo on the side of Silence. It seems that Fast Fingers and Silence seem to be the 6th pickers of their teams, using that 6th pick to their team's advantage or disadvantage, whichever one you might see. Saint decided to stick with the Bandit this time, letting Riddler play the smoke. A little bit surprising, but maybe he's lost the love with smoke recently. I know when I first casted him in the league, he was a smoke and Twitch main. Whether that still remains the case, I don't know. Wait to be seen. Caswez once again just sticking with this Warden, not necessarily using his gadget much, but certainly the SMG-12 coming into its own, and the shotgun as well at close range, proving very useful. Silence with those 2 Goyo shields means that they currently have 3 shields on the side of RNS. 2 of them, of course, having a bit more of a bite than the one being employed by Riddler, which is currently being employed in Elbow. An ADS, 2 ADSs being given, I believe, to the smoke that's going to be playing in Bunker. But it seems that SBG have gone, you know what, let's not push Bunker. They've spent all that time setting up, let's just not even bother pushing into it. Instead, they're deciding to start in Small Tower, having the likes of Ghost Ninja and Amazar, the 2 hard breaches, sticking outside, droning them in. Very well played on that side. Keeping their important utility in the back. Getting the drones in for those that are slightly more expendable. With the likes of I'm Digital on the IQ. Not necessarily the most crucial thing if he dies here. Which he might do, as we see a Goyo playing. The Bandit, no, playing at the bottom of Freezer Stairs. An engagement coming out, and sadly... Oh, no. Kills coming left, right, and send Digital Shadow. Unfortunately, didn't realise that the flank of the Mitsu was coming out, and then he collects his head as he tries to fall off the engagement with Saint. Mitsu then turns around and collects the Nomad who was pushing through meeting. Jackal now on Fast Fingers, pushing up, sees Mitsu, misses his shots, but so does Mitsu. Mitsu with an absolute horrific whiff, missing everything, but more whiffs coming out the side of Fast Fingers. Oh no! That is not what you want to see when you've got the back of Silence and the Goyo lying on the floor. Goodness me, what happened there? Fast Fingers not having the best day here. Saint manages to push round onto Ghost Ninja, collecting his head, and now Amazar is left in a 1v3 situation. Almost landing a headshot there onto Saint through the soft wall with the pre-fire. Doesn't quite manage it. Saint trying to go for a quick peek here. The shots come out from Amazar, and Silence swings into the kitchen, finishing off Amazar, and securing round number 2 for RNS. A decent start there coming out from the side of SBG. Unfortunately, though, when it came down to the gunfights, they just weren't winning them today. Whether it was the whiffs coming out on both sides, or whether it was the whiffs coming out on the side of SBG, I'm not quite sure. But Fast Fingers there, somehow winning his fight versus Mitsu, but then potatoing just as hard as he did in the previous one on Silence when he was completely flat on his arse in meeting. Unfortunately, Silence was able to pick himself up off the floor, turn around, and manage to shut Fast Fingers down with how little health he was on. RNS playing quite well here together, of course, pushing up and collecting each other's either refrags or just being there for when one gunfight is done with and the player of SBG falls off it, they then just fall straight into the arms of one of the other members of RNS. Unfortunately, we saw Digital die to that, and then I believe it was Jono tried to help with the Nomad pushing from meeting, but unfortunately was also collected by Mitsu, landing those shots quite well. First map final score, Ducko, was 7-1 to RNS. Doesn't quite give an idea of how close the game was at a couple of points. The first opening rounds with SBG were actually a lot closer than they seemed to be, but with a couple of TKs coming out, unfortunately it meant that it went the way of RNS in the end. Winning 5 straight, I believe, on the defensive, and finishing it off with 2 attacking wins. Yeah, so far RNS are definitely the ones that look like they've got the upper hand with this one. However, I've seen some good stuff coming out on the side of SBG so far. They had, of course, their hard utility. They had their hard breachers waiting outside, droning in their more expendable players. However, there's expendable and then there's dying really early on, and unfortunately, that's what happened to the members here of SBG as they pushed in. They unfortunately lost their gunfights, whiffed a few shots, which meant that they were left in a difficult position. And then the harder utility players of Ace and Thermite pushed in and sadly were not able to make up for the deficit, and they got cleaned up quite nicely by RNS as they came together for round 2. Now the push here seems to be rather more splintered this time on the side of SBG. Seems they're going for a big tower clear, getting that top 4 control. Pushing through into attic, and then seems like they might push into master bedroom, opening up the floor to play into the kitchen. Would be nice to see them, of course, also go and get a bit of small tower control. However, that's quite difficult, especially playing against the likes of Sidens, who I believe is also running the Ella shotgun as well as this pistol. That shotgun is deadly, nobody really likes it. Caswez, though, picking up a double kill as the members of SBG push into the top floor and the dorms of second floor. What am I on about? Words are just not forming with me today. Caswez at the top. Caswez picking up a quad kill. Oh, the double peak coming out on the side of SBG, but he managed to swing across and just collect the head. He's on for an ace here, and he gets it! An ace coming out on the side of Caswez. Not quite all headshots, I don't think, but certainly managed to land most of them. 3, if not 4 headshots coming out in that gunfight. The drone work just not quite being there by SBG when they needed it. He was top of white stairs, saw the flank coming up. Shots came out from Caswez though, and he collected all of them. Well played there from Caswez. And a flawless round as well coming out from RNS, because Caswez taking all these gunfights meant that not only did he take the kills away from the rest of his team, but it meant that all of them were still alive. Nobody got stupid, nobody ran in, nobody died. Caswez was like, boys, I got you. And it's the round he swaps off the shotgun. Maybe Caswez without the shotgun is even more deadly than Caswez with the shotgun. Let's see how we continue on as we go into round number 4, as currently RNS are leading this second game 3-0.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Kills looking very different on the scoreboard this time. There was a couple of members of SBG maybe not quite getting the kills that they needed in the first game. However, by this point, most of the team actually did have quite a few kills. I believe we had I'm Digital on about 7. We had Fast Fingers on about 6. Unfortunately, not quite getting the kills that they need this time, losing their gunfights, not quite knowing where the enemy players are of RNS. RNS, though, have been showing the kills around, apart from Caswez, who was like, you know what, boys, sit down, hold my beer. I'm taking this one. I get all 5. And so we did, and got the ace on the previous round. Securing the flawless for RNS. Of course, after winning 3 in a row, they are now able to go back to their top floor site. As we see them setting up here. Legion putting in the holes again at the top of Armory, looking into the master bedroom. Used these holes previously to get a kill onto the ace, as he pushed in after opening up the wall previously. Will Ace fall to the same trick again? I'm not quite sure. Certainly seems like a bit of pressure is being applied over here on the side of Jono, on the Zofia, repelling on that Armory window. Might be able to get an early shutdown onto the Legion of Riddler. However, Riddler playing very close. Does he realise that someone's on repel? Does, of course, Zofia spot him on the drone? Sees the drone, goes to shoot it, but... Ooh, Jono missing his shots, unfortunately. Swings the window, but doesn't quite manage to collect the kill. And Saint, somewhere else on the other side of the map, collects the head of Fast Fingers. Playing the Jackal, trying to get some footprints, maybe? Being caught napping. Unfortunately, that may have been the case. Amazar trying to take the fight to Saint right here at the end of the hallway, but unfortunately loses his life as a headshot rains down from Saint. Saint pushes up and collects another head of I'm Digital, but Ghost Ninja managed to get one back in favour. However, kills have come out left, right and centre from RNS, and Ghost Ninja is once again left in a 1v4 situation. Playing on this balcony. The wall is still bandited, so he can't actually quite get it open with his ace charger, so he's just going to have to force his way inside. He still has the time here. If the members of RNS push him one by one, he certainly stands a chance. Shots coming out there, managed to secure the head of Sidens. A double kill now for Ghost Ninja. If he clutches this one out, he will score himself an ace. Does he realise though that the player of Riddler is in the armory here, holding the same angle that he died from last time? No, he doesn't, but he also doesn't matter as Caswell swings the trophy door and secures the headshot onto Ghost. Caswell's once again deciding that, you know what, don't need a shotgun, rotates aren't needed. Let's pop myself on the MPX and showing himself up that he's just as good with the MPX as he is with the shotgun. Or the shotgun, as Chag would like to say. Chag, if you're still in chat, there you go, there's a bit of love for you, mate. The shotgun. Excuse me. Ah, dearie me. But yes, in answer to your question, Caswez, I did catch the ace. I'm sure you're not watching the stream. You better not be watching the stream, otherwise I'll be very angry, and that may have to be brought up with the admins, but I will let you know in the Discord that I did indeed catch the ace. I did.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
Of course, 4 wins now on the side of RNS. Sees them go back down into the basement site. SBG deciding, you know what? we've had enough of this RNS side and deciding we're going to bring the Blackbeard. And Mazar swapping onto this operator that a lot of people really don't like, those bulletproof shields. Although they've been nerfed significantly from the day that he was released. Of course, I believe originally having about 800 health, now being reduced down to about 80. A massive drop. It's still... The shield can often eat quite a lot of bullets, and there's so many times I found myself facing off a Blackbeard, shooting him in the head and going, why haven't I killed him? At the same time, though, I sometimes find I manage to get sneaky headshots over the top of the Blackbeard shield, so it works both ways. Bit scummy, but sometimes I get scummy kills back on him. Oh, a spawn peak coming out on the way of Sidens. Manages to collect Jono, but instantly traded back by Ghost Ninja. Well played there on the side of SBG. Unfortunately, losing a man to it. If they've been able to get that without losing the man advantage, then this would put them in good stead as we go into round number 5. However, the trade came out just a tiny second too late. Well, a trade came out full stop. Otherwise, it would have just been a kill to Ghost. Unfortunately, maybe the call not coming out there to Jono, unfortunately means his cold dead corpse is lying on the floor, not too far from spawn. Sadly for him, he will not play any further part in this round number 5. Poor IQ. What did she do to deserve this? Apart from running the G8. Ghost Ninja, here we see, pushing down the main stairs. Sophia of Iron Digital already down in the laundry. Seeming like that once again deciding not to push into the clutches of RNS, who are playing the elbow shield here. Caswez though landing a headshot, and Saint following it up quite quickly. Shutting down both his players, pushing the laundry. Now it's left down to a 2v4 situation with a Mazar and Fast Fingers on the board. And Mazar though proving that, of course, the Blackbeard shield coming in clutch there, collecting almost all the bullets of the SMG-11, did only netting a little bit of damage onto his HP pool, leaving him pretty healthy as he now pushes into sight, and the numbers have been put back in favour of SBG, a 2v2 situation, sorry. But Caswez losing a lot of health there to Fast Fingers. But then as I say that, Caswez manages to find the head of Fast Fingers. Still on about 10 health though, and Mazar could get this, but no, Mitsu playing close with the shotgun manages to pick him up, take him off the board, shut him down. A shield sadly cannot protect him from the shotgun at that range, too many pellets, too much damage, and it takes a Mazar out of action and puts 5 points in favour of RNS as we head into round number 6, their final defending round. Will RNS get the clean sweep here on defence, or will SBG be able to pull back one round on them before we head into the second half and SBG head onto the defensive? So far from how we've seen both SBG and RNS play, I'm not 100% confident in that. It would be nice to see SBG get a round on the board. But unfortunately, with the way that they've been playing in this second map, they just haven't got the momentum needed. The drone work hasn't been there where it's needed to be. It's been there early on, but sadly, when it comes down to the calls at the very last minute, when the gunfights are getting engaged, the calls maybe haven't quite been there. Kills haven't come out in their favour, and unfortunately, this is why we see them on a 5-0 scoreline. Hopefully they make it 5-1 as we head into the second half, give us a little bit of something spicy to talk about. But so far from what we've seen from the side of SBG, that may not be the case. Once again though, I'd like to remind everybody this isn't SBG's main roster. They are missing one player at the moment, and Mazar is an emergency sub that they've had to pull in due to one of their members not being available. So far, proving his worth, getting 3 kills on the board so far, which is the same as 2 other members of SBG. And maybe, of course, that new member being added into the roster at such last minute means that, unfortunately, the chemistry isn't quite there between all the teammates, which may have resulted in some of these rounds being thrown, the communication not quite coming out. A spawn peek, though, from Caswez completely takes Maze off the board, literally, as I talk about him. Where did you do that spawn peek from, Caswez? You dirty, dirty man. He did it from the master bedroom door right here, and I believe destroyed Caswez. Yeah, no, Amazar, I do apologise. Right in spawn. Wasn't an illegal spawn peek because it wasn't within the first 2 seconds, but certainly I'm sure Amazar was not happy about that one. The Legion of Riddler, though, has been downed in sight. Must have been through the soft wall that they've left in the showers here. Not quite sure who downed him, but I'm Digital pushing into sight and collecting a kill onto Mitsu. Actually, no, pushing from above gets Mitsu. Riddler being picked up, though, is on 20 health, so could very easily be taken out. Caswez, though, collecting a triple kill by collecting the head of Fast Fingers. Whether that's intentional TK on Saint, I'm not quite sure, but he manages it all the same. Caswez swinging the small tower window, manages to collect the head of Ghost Ninja, but I'm Digital left in a 1v3 situation. He's currently stuck in the top of White Stairs, and pings are coming out. They know exactly where he is. The SMG-12 coming out, hit fire, but he misses it. But Riddler secures the kill with a headshot through the floor. Yeah, it was through the floor. God, these boys are doing some mean things to this SBG team. Unfortunately, we see the clean sweep coming out from RNS as they go 6-0 on this defensive half. A very one-sided game coming out here on Oregon. Seems that the strategies being employed by RNS are just able to help them here, although most of this has just come down to gunfights, honestly, right now. And unfortunately, SBG have not been winning them like they were in the previous round. Can they turn it around and manage to get the full sweep on the defensive side? From what we've seen so far, unfortunately, I don't think so, but hopefully they can maybe get a surprise round on RNS if they catch them napping. Although the Finker and the Amaru and the Ash coming out on the side of RNS, Saint going on the Twitch means that this could definitely be a rush on this maybe final round. We don't quite know yet. I'm certainly not going to call it that until we know for definite. But with the Amaru being brought along on the side of Sidence and the Finker being switched onto by Mitsu, it certainly seems like it has been decided on the side of RNS that they're going to rush this one. A Capcan, Ella and Legion, though, being brought on the side of SBG, it seems they're almost expecting this rush from them. Certainly if they set everything up in the right place and RNS aren't able to clear out a lot of this utility, it could very easily swing in favour of SBG, and the rush that is likely to ensue might just come back and bite RNS in the ass. And 1 round will be on the board for SBG. Of course, we won't know until the time hits 0 and we see exactly where all these members spawn and where they start pushing through. Let's see where Sidence is going to spawn.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
Every single member of RNS deciding to spawn over on the big tower side. Just completely dropping the diffuser. They're definitely going for the rush here. No, Riddler deciding to actually go back and pick it up. Sidence already in top armory stairs. Does the call come out that he's in sight? No, there was Capcan though, slapping him. The Finker boost though, meaning that damage is slightly reduced significantly. Sees the shield. Doesn't quite collect the head, and coming from behind him, the flank coming out from Legion, collecting a kill as another kill falls onto Mitsu at the very same time. Both of the main rushing operators on the side of RNS being taken out nice and early here on the side of SBG. Like I say, they were prepared for this rush. The Capcan coming in quite crucial there. And still full health across the board on this SBG team. As we see, it's currently been in a 5v3. Sadly, though, Digital Shadow gets shut down by Caswez downstairs. Caswez been absolutely popping off this game, getting an ace in one of the rounds and collecting multiple kills across the remainder of them. Being swung, though, by Jono, getting a double kill. Very nice, Jono, getting a nice headshot onto Caswez there. Being left on the tiny slither of health. Very nearly walked away with a trade on that one. Riddler, though, flanking up the white stairs. Lands 2 shots onto the Capcan, downing him. 3 shots, and he's out of the game for now. Saint also on incredibly low health. Don't know who's on lower health, Jono or Saints at the moment, but both of them certainly not feeling healthy right now. As Fast Fingers is trying to take out this Twitch playing. And Jono managed it on such low health, managed to get Riddler. Now it's just Saint left inside, and the Ella shotgun swings the corner, taking Saint out of the game. Low health, so even a little tickle to the left toe could have killed him. But the Ella shotgun certainly does the job at that range, whether he was on 1 health or full. I think the outcome would have happened either way, to be honest, on that one. So there we go. As expected, the rush not quite playing out in favour of RNS. Maybe they should have taken that one a little bit slower, as it seemed that SBG was certainly prepared for the rush on this one, having both the Ella, Legion and the Kapkan up there to counter that roam. Of course, a good flank coming out on the side of Jono, netting him, I believe, 3 kills by the end of the round. He got the flank up the main stairs, collecting that first kill onto Amaru. I believe Digital collected the kill onto Mitsu, who was playing the Finker. From there, it was just sort of SBG had the advantage and they traded kills and managed to finish, of course. When you're in that man advantage and you are trading these kills, you eventually finish with the last man standing. Although it was the last men standing, there was a few of them remaining. Men and women, though, correct me if I'm wrong, though, because I believe Ella was still up. So yeah, she definitely counts. And Mazar still shocked at how much he destroyed Saint right at the very end there. So being a little bit AFK for the start of this round. Now going for the one-tap on the drone, lands it. Very nice, very nice. If you'd missed that Amazar, no one would have let you live it down. Because sadly, I would have caught it on camera. Fortunately for you though, you managed to land it, so very well done. This time you see a little bit more of a tame setup coming out on the side of RNS. Certainly no Amaru, certainly no Finker, so the rush seeming a little less likely. They may still press the advantage though, as there's only 3 members in sights, but the Kapkan once again being bought by Ghost Ninja. Still 3 of those Kapkan traps to be placed down though. So we'll see how effective they are and exactly where they come. Still, oh, excuse me, do beg my pardon. Reinforcements still coming out though on the electrical room. If only the Thermite had known, you could have pre-fired that door and collected the Kapkan nice and early on. Unfortunately not. Saint droning in with the Twitch drone, not seeing the Ella mine and taking it out for his friendly Riddler though. Sorry, do beg my pardon, I've got hiccups all of a sudden. Saint swings the angle though and collects the head of Jono, playing at the bottom of the rear stage stairs. Another shot, beautiful shot coming out from Saint onto Digital, not quite hitting the head. Fast fingers though, getting a kill back in favour of his teammates. Playing the dock here, managing to get the head of Mitsu as they push through Garage. Being docked though, he can recover all that health that he's just lost as he falls back inside. But Sidence makes another more in favour of RNS, currently being 4-3. Saint though hits Kapkan trap. Saint, you're playing Twitch. You have a Twitch drone. Shoot the Kapkan traps. Anyway, Caswez now with the Ash on the G36C. Maybe not the most anticipated weapon. Manages to get another kill onto the side of SBG. Misses the shot so onto Digital, who's playing at the end of that long haul corridor. Ghost and Digital being left in a 2v3 situation here, trying to control it as best they can. 2 players currently being on the pillar, massive edge. Oh, and get 1 kill goes to Sidence and 1 kill goes to Digital. And 1 kill goes in favour of Ghost. He's now left in a 1v1 situation. Doesn't have the health advantage that Caswez does. Caswez currently on full health and has been showing up completely on this game. So maybe going to prove crucial here in the 1v1 situation. If he finds a Kapkan trap as he walks around, then he will die. However, instead he finds the body of Ghost, shuts him down, and secures the 7-1 win for RNS. Well played to both teams here. Definitely from looking at the scoreline, we can see that Caswez was the MVP of this game. Certainly proving his stuff with an ace in, I believe, the 4th or 5th round. And getting many more kills after that on many of the other games. So well played, everyone. Unfortunately, SBG didn't quite have it there in the second map as well as they did in the first. They still managed to get 1 round on the board, mainly because RNS decided, you know what, we're in the winning advantage, we're going to go for a bit of a rush. Fortunately didn't play out for them, so it means that the scoreline goes to 7-1. But in the end, SBG just did not quite have the gunfight capability or the strats to necessarily completely counter RNS. So unfortunately, RNS walk away with the wins on both of these maps. 7-1, 7-1, going the way of RNS across both of these maps. I believe the teams are all now leaving the lobby. Thank you though for tuning in for this stream. The scores will be posted shortly on the Resistance Siege League Discord. So if you're not already part of it, get somebody like myself to drop you an invite. If you're new to the stream and you haven't already dropped me a follow, please consider doing so. It greatly helps me out, and I'm currently 3 followers, everybody, away from being affiliate, and it would be greatly appreciated if you could help me towards that goal. For now, though, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a good day of Siege. Hopefully my voice will still be sticking around for tomorrow. I'll be streaming over with Conch in a duo cast with him, so go check out his channel if you're not already part of that following or subgroup. Please go do so. If not, yes, I will catch you whenever you next decide to tune in, whether that's for a chill stream, whether that's for another casting. Either way, thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you for joining me on watching this game, and catch you on the flip side. Peace.